a dominion on winning those last 2 weeks, and we want other people to win. So besides that, tonight I am playing Zonoth. They use he, him pronouns, just like myself. And they are an orc invoker of the Mother of Mothers. So picture basically a Jedi, because that's what I wanted to play. That's me. I'm going to hand it right over to Matthew.
Who plays a Jedi? So yeah, when we last left, these, they're not really, heroes yet, but these adventurers, these folks, these, persecuted, wrongly accused, a mishmash of people, they were making their way to the royal welcome for the Prince of Dalmaria, Prince Jean Bonfils of the Bonfils monarchy in Dalmaria. They all had interesting occurrences on their way to the ball. Some were less dramatic than others. Dimitri was confronted by some guards who were on high alert because of the situation in the capital. He saved himself, but he was also protected by a mysterious wizard who later revealed their name to be Dillion. Zonoth was stopped by the Dread Witch of Amonsvul, and she placed a curse on him. And Sam, also known as Samuel Fidelium, saw some strange occurrences going around the palace of the Countess of Avamere, who was welcoming the Prince Bonfils. And Janelle, she actually met Samuel because the Duchess Bonfils called a servant to the room because they heard a strange noise in the closet. But they all got to the royal welcome in one piece, and it was basically what happened is the prince did not show up, and he was reported to be kidnapped. The Countess was immediately suspicious of everyone around her and began singling out people one by one. And wouldn't you know it, Dimitri, Janelle, Samuel, they were all singled out. Zonoth was not, however. And she demanded to have answers. And answers they tried to give. But even with fate on their side, the Countess was not easily swayed. And the wizard Dillion, a known enemy of hers, showed up to announce that, oh yes, the people before her were indeed accomplices, trying to assassinate the Countess and kidnap the prince and all that stuff. The Countess leapt from her throne to assault these accused. That's what we'll call you, the accused. And Zonoth took that as a sign for the Mother of Mothers and leapt to their rescue. They frenziedly boarded Dillion's airship and narrowly fled in the flying city of Antinia in the federated province of Avamere, and found some refuge in a waterfall cave. Everyone loves that. Kind of nested in the where the Avamere plains meet the Elementine Mountains. And Dillion explained to them that he did not know who kidnapped the prince, but that the Countess of Avamere has this heart of this primordial chained god attached to her body, and that he was working with an assassin known as the Son of Storms to destabilize the Countess's power base. And he basically asked them to come along, at least on the journey, and help him out, but at least come along for the very fact that they are being persecuted by the Countess and her forces. The airship, after spending that night together, the airship took off and headed north to the city, to the country of Kardun, north of the Elementine Mountains, which we can see now here on the map because I uploaded it, because I keep it on my native drive. Right here. And so it's kind of like, this way, this will be the path. It's like a dick, but it's got an X instead of, balls, so we're fine.
That's where they used to be.
So, we pick back up with flying high among the clouds, using the clouds as cover, the airship taking off, going towards these the primordial ruins in Kardun, this primordial site in Kardun. So what are y'all gonna do? Well, on the way there, if anything.
So Sam, not being one to hold a grudge for long, starts to make sure that breakfast is made and people are served and assisted with their morning routines.
Nice. Make a little breakfast. There's actually quite a bit in the larder that you've managed to find the larder. It's in a very awkward place, of course, but you managed to find it nonetheless. And there's actually quite a bit of food supplies, but you can tell that Dillian doesn't really have a tendency to cook. He's pretty skinny, kind of malnourished. He kind of neglects his body.
The Dimitri will be probably after breakfast, thank you, Sam. Walking around the ship, looking for like loose boards, just things that needs to be cleaned up on the ship, cleaning it up, nailing them back down, making sure everything's up. With Spins, the harvester golem on tow, I'm sure still following me around. I'm not saying much, but just observing.
Yes, the grain harvest construct that you have named Spins is following you around. Spinning every so often, just following you around. Kind of bangs up against stuff every now and then, kind of clumsy, but it's following you around nonetheless.
I believe that Zonoth would just be, he would, after his morning meditation, would have a pretty simple or pretty bland meal from whatever was in the larder. And then would just be kind of enjoying the sights amongst the clouds, kind of standing towards the bow of the ship, enjoying the view.
Chanel would probably make some sort of very ridiculous request of Sam.
While I'm poking around for the larder, do I find clothes anywhere?
There's a lot of different clothes from a lot of different cultures and places.
Do I find a dress that Sam would find pretty?
There's some dresses that are pretty.
Perfect. Then, Sam's already dressed in working clothes, which will be appropriate for an adventure. But if there's something that would be adventure appropriate that is also fashionable, I would bring it to Janelle. So, knock, knock, knock.
Oui?
It's Sam.
Yes. Is my bath ready?
Bath?
Is that not what you are, knocking for?
Did I find a bathroom?
Yeah, there's a bathroom. There's actually a rather ornate bathroom.
I can show you where the bathroom is, but unfortunately, that's not why I came.
Oh.
I will.
Well, come in.
Okay. Let myself in, and I will probably awkwardly hand you the 2 or 3 garments that I have in my hands.
Oh.
And
This is for me?
I found them on the ship and thought they would be more appropriate than your ball gown from yesterday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this looks, well, there are no holes in it, so... well, we must make do with this situation, I suppose. Thank you very much.
And I will show you where the bath is and make sure you have something for breakfast.
Okay. That is most helpful.
Is my bath ready? Peak.
Sorry, I
stream.
had to be just a little bit of a shit.
I'm dying.
I'm like, well, she kind of sucks in that way. That's right, make sure it's the right temperature. Maybe this elemental could heat my bath.
Ignatius Calafracius?
I will ask Ignatius
Alexis
Calafracius.
just being a shit.
I will make sure that it's heated and make sure Ignatius gets a good breakfast to soothe whatever.
Ignatius
indignation.
Califracius does indeed ask for the bacon, the eggs, and all the good stuff. And once he has it roaring to life, the bath simmers to a perfect temperature.
Well, the circumstances are not ideal, but thank you.
That's all I have.
What are we planning to do? My accent's all over the place. It's fine. What is the plan for the day?
Traveling, I'm assuming. Dylan?
It's Dillian, actually.
Dillian.
That's okay. He just kind of appears. Well, we are flying to a ruin in the in Kardun. We're gonna go near a place called Herdrath's. It's kind of
Whose dress?
Herdrath's. They're great. It's kind of a what would you call it? It's kind of a outlaws refuge, I think is what they call them. Yep. So we're gonna do that. That should be a nice time. We'll stop there. We'll stop there on the way out, let's say. Anyway, but we're gonna set the ship down in the entrance to Kardun, because if we take the airship into Kardun, we'll probably be shot out of the sky, as they have all sorts of defenses to detect air travel in Kardun. You know, defending their country from invasions and such.
It sounds pretty reasonable for being next to Avamir.
Exactly. It's funny, they put those particular defenses in places whenever Antinia got raised into the sky.
And what is their goal in Kardun?
So there is this site of primordial magic, and we're gonna go there and, kind of scratches his head. I'm actually not quite sure, but I know that there's a site there, and I know that there's something to do.
And we're gonna try to harness that power.
Yeah, harness. That's probably what we'll do. This is high theoretical stuff. We're at the cutting edge of magical technology here.
And then once we harness this magical power, we are going to...
We're going to use it to take from the Countess what she took from someone else.
Okay.
And then we're giving that heart back. Right?
Yeah, it's not mine.
Are you talking, Alexis?
I was
Sam
starting
settles back
to.
in.
Sorry, I
Are
couldn't hear you.
we? Are we sure that we should not be calling this what you call them prison? Or this Son of Stars?
Oh,
Take care of this all. Surely there is someone else who can do this.
well, at last I heard, the Prism are a little preoccupied fighting their own particular war, so the Son of Storms is doing something else entirely. So this is my leg of this particular journey. And as fate would have it, you're all along for the ride. Isn't that terrific?
It is
Fate
wonderful.
Fate had nothing to do with it, friend. Mother of Mothers wished us to be here, and so we are.
Not know what do not know much of this mother of yours, but I feel strongly manipulated into this situation.
Nobles often
Everyone has to end up somewhere.
Nobles often
What was that,
mistake.
Dillian?
Sorry, I was just saying. Nobles often mistake responsibility for manipulation. Has been my experience.
Sam is just
And
quietly
Zonoth is
giggling
just
in a
gonna-
corner.
Zonoth is gently sipping his warm tea that he's having with his breakfast.
Now, then I suppose we should be off before this countess comes looking for us.
Oh, yep. We're already flying through the sky. We'll be in
Oh.
the war ruins here pretty soon.
I was busy taking a bath. I did not notice.
Notice how the clouds are all around us.
Oh, it's amazing what happens when you look around. You're in the air.
Janelle is a delight. Janelle is...
Okay, so the actually I'll move this kind of, well, it doesn't really matter. The airship then starts to take a dive, and it comes around
What's wrong?
to we're landing, Janelle,
Oh,
and you see the wizard step up to the well, and he the wheel, and he extends his hands forward, and you see Ignatius Califracius kind of erupt and roar to life as the airship starts to kind of nosedive downwards. We have to do this very quickly, otherwise we might get seen. Hold on to something.
I'm going to move to the front of the ship so I can watch.
It's actually quite the gravitational pull as the airship almost free falls out of the sky as you see the fire elemental go dormant, and then the airship starts to fall very rapidly, and then the Ignatius Califracius roars and creates a backdraft, thrusting or forward propulsion, thrusting the airship to life. There's a kind of warble and creak as the airship is pulled in every a different direction. And then it starts to, you see him kind of redirect, and it starts to even out again and land abruptly. The ruins you see on the Elementine Mountains appear to be perhaps dwarvish. You're actually not quite sure, but these kind of tall, long monoliths with this runic scripture and these statues of these warriors nestled in here in these like very deep red, kind of almost clay-like, like a red clay-like substance in the soil here, and the mountains of the Elementine Mountains of this part. The ruins that stand before you create this great big opening between these monoliths. Like there's basically like two monoliths that are connected together, and then two soldiers on either side, and then there's another set of those across a gap, and that creates an entrance.
It's beautiful.
Dillian looks to you. Tens of thousands of people died on this very spot where we stand.
That's terrible.
For what? And pulling her hand back from touching any of the ruins.
The same reason all the wars have been fought. Nobles wanted money.
Well, that's unfortunate then.
Well, then we should be quick and not tarry.
He looks over to the airship and he like just kind of gestures forward, and the airship kind of lurches to life and flies up. He'll take cover in the clouds. Hopefully they don't find him. We should walk. We don't want to use anything too ostentatious to get into the past the border.
After you.
For how far?
Just a few miles.
Miles?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. You're from Dalmaria. Just a few kilometers.
It is not
Sam
so
will
bad.
offer a hand or
keep
an arm
walking.
to keep moving.
What kind of shoes
Do
is
we
Janelle wearing? What kind of shoes?
Probably the same shoes from last night.
Comfortable shoes to go with the outfit that I brought her. So it would have been boots that would have matched the pants.
But did she put them on?
No, but they're available.
Do we have enough water?
I'm sure that there was enough from the larder.
Supplies? Will we have to make a camp? Out here?
It's
Only a couple miles.
It's a few
not that
miles.
bad. It's like an hour. Maybe 2.
I'm dying.
He just like smiles. And he walks up to you and he hands you a tin can.
What is
Ta-
this?
Take this.
Okay.
On it, you see it says Brell's Tent in a Can. And it has like a very like Depression era period like drawing of advertisement on it. And you can find that in the treasure deck. It's called Brell's, BRELL''S, a tent in a can. It's a magic item. It can fit into one of your 12 inventory slots.
A tent?
In a can. Got it from a wizard named Brell.
Does it have air conditioning? Did I break Matthew? What happened?
The thing is sideways. Sort of.
Or he was reading the can.
I understand now, but for a minute I was like, what? Did I break him? Okay. Oh,
Mhm, mhm.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Just make sure you don't open it inside, I guess.
Now, if we are inside a structure, then there is no need for a tent. Which is preferable?
You know, it could make for a fun prank. You know, you like put it in, you know, switch the labels.
I
No.
would never dare prank anyone I know with a tent. This is outrageous.
It seems relatively harmless.
To you?
Just like, you know, and a tent comes out. I mean, it's the peak of humor. Wow. We should probably get walking. It's you know, daylight's wasted.
Yeah, let's do that. And Dillian begins to walk. Yeah, he like walks with very straight legs.
He's gonna have trouble with rocks.
Okay, well.
He says, so anyway, the story is that the Kardunese wanted... There used to be dwarves who lived in the Elementine Mountains before they all retreated away and away. And as the story goes, the Kardunese summoned up an army of 10,000... 10,000 of Kardunese, let's just say. Which at the time was considered to be the largest army that would ever existed in the world. Except for not because of the Dawn War, but whatever, let people tell their stories. And they marched on here. And they marched on here, and they marched and marched and marched. And 10,000 Kardunese broke themselves against the Dwarven stronghold. They did quite a bit of damage, but the dwarves were victorious. He stops. And he keeps walking. But a lesson was learned. No matter how big your army is, you don't launch an attack on a dwarven stronghold.
Seems like a good lesson. And
Yep.
what was the ultimate resolution of this battle?
A decisive dwarven victory and a retreat of the Kardunese for centuries. But when the Gish arrived, the dwarves retreated, and the Kardunese spread their borders as far into the Elementine Mountains as they could.
And where are the dwarves now?
Deep in the deep in the earth, in the capital city of Kelvarkin. Called this Fist of Light or the City of Light. My dwarvish isn't very good.
Got it.
It's a shame, you know. The Kardunese are inventors. They are innovators. They did for elemental magic what Zarin did for divination and martial magic. But
And what did Zarin do for elemental and martial magic? Who's Zarin?
He looks at you. He's like, "Oh gosh, I didn't know this would be such a history lesson."
I mean,
Zarin-
I'm just curious. You don't have to indulge me.
Oh well. Anyway, the Kardunese. It's just a shame because, you know, all they care about is money.
It's terrible.
Zarin
What is
was
so wrong with caring about money?
well. When you go to war, when you care about something about money so much that you kill yours and others for it, I think that's not good.
Okay, well, yes, this might be an extreme, but you know, money does help for, you know, paying for food and shelters.
He kind of looks around, and he points to like a cave structure that's off in the distance. That's shelter. And then he like points at like some like a tiny little bit of vegetation. That's food. Edda provides us all that we need to live and prosper. And yet I have to shell out coin to survive? That doesn't seem right. And he keeps walking.
That seem right to you?
Chanel just sort of blinks and continues to walk.
Slow blink,
Yeah.
mouth half open.
And he continues. He talks about more about the Kardunese for a while, and then he kind of like picks up a twig and like snaps it, and, like looks at it, and it's very obviously very dead. Kind of tosses it, and I should have that. Oh no, wait, I'm not tech. Never mind. I got a message on Messenger. I'm like, oh god, the whole stream will hear it, and then I realized I'm not tech. And he says, to answer your question, Zonoth, I mean, I don't mind, but Zarin was one of the he was one of the founders of the Gish, the merging magic with martial prowess, the way that the Gish do. He's a god of magic. He was one of the last advisors to the Grand Presider. That's all.
He must not be much of a god. I hadn't heard of him.
He gets overshadowed by Marissa a lot.
Yeah. I keep hearing about her. I'll have to look her up.
He just blinks. Anyway, and he just keeps marching on. At his story of the Kardun and of the war, and the very vision of this monument gives you all 2 adventure points, as you are filled with a sense of wonderment and history.
Very wonderment. Much history.
Yep.
Write it down. Write it down.
And he kind of looks around. He's like, anyway, so the one downside to this place, no one ever comes here, and it's not really defended by the Gish. And he's like, the reason for that, it's absolutely crawling with undead. Did I mention that earlier?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
No.
what?
Yep. Just absolutely lousy with undead.
It is bad enough you have us walking?
And that'll turn on my prey sense. That I sharpen my sense of danger until we reach town.
Okay. As you do get a couple pings of danger that you are in fact surrounded. All throughout the mountains, in the ground itself, there is this kind of presence of this death energy all around you.
Well, if it tries to come for us, we cannot be ambushed in the next hour.
Okay, that's probably good because it's coming for you right now.
Yikes. Okay.
You start to see like these specters. They're not dwarven. They're not even Kardunese. They're almost formless, like mists, just kind of rising out of the ground. Only the vaguest of shapes taking hold. Some of them seem to be roaring pits of fire, other clouds of mist, others assemblage of earth. He's like, oh, yeah, uh-oh. As they start to kind of come towards you all. What do you do?
How many are there?
Half a dozen. It's probably three on each side, kind of flanking, coming out of like the pass that you're in, like the mountains.
It doesn't seem like we can make our way through without encountering them.
We can try whatever you want to try. They're just coming towards you.
Perhaps we can make haste and not engage with these foul creatures.
Sounded like it was playing twice. Kind of weird.
I suggest we move quickly.
Yes, we should get out of the way. At least move to a better position so they can't surround us.
And I'm gonna, if people aren't moving, I'm gonna like kind of usher them along. Come along. And I'm gonna try to, yeah, exactly like Dimitri said, make sure that they can't flank us.
Okay.
Sort of awkwardly breaks into like a doesn't know how to run.
If any of them get too close or look like they intend harm, I will ready freeze.
Janelle, I want you to roll me a die of fate.
Oh fuck.
Because I think like we zoom in here on a flashpoint. This is the first time Sam has ever been in any kind of danger, I think. In this kind of danger?
Janelle?
Janelle, sorry.
It's okay.
In this type of danger.
It's accurate, very accurate.
So yeah,
Okay.
Janelle. Roll me a die of fate.
10.
So here's the tough choice. They actually move very quickly and kind of start to form. So your tough choice is you can either. The tough choice is you can not be cut off and you can start your run, but you're going to have to push through the specters themselves. Or you can not, like, you can stay behind, you can like be cut off but not have to run through them. So basically, in order to pass through, you're going to take some harm, or damage, excuse me, or you could stay behind and not take damage.
I think she gets cut off.
So you stop as three of the specters move in and notice what Zonoth is trying to do and already form a kind of cutoff formation. The dead keep this pass. The living have no purchase here. And three of them point at you, Zonoth, and you can see like little bolts of death energy start to form in their fingers. What do you do?
1 moment. I'm going to extend one hand and I'm going to hit them with Thunderous Word.
Okay.
So you speak a word of power. It's 2 action points, releasing a thunderous shockwave in the direction you are facing. The wave knocks up to 3 creatures, which I believe are the 3 that cut us off, knocking them backwards and hits them each for 2 hit damage. The creatures affected by this spell are briefly dazed and cannot use special abilities during their next turn. So I'm trying to basically cut them off from using like whatever magics that they were about to do. I'm going to step in front of Janelle as well, like so that they can't hurt her.
Okay. The thunderous wave is blast out, and they seem to dissipate for a moment, and then like mist reform. But they are pushed back. They fly away and have taken the damage. And then there would be three on the other far side, on the far side, cutting off the pass.
Just quickly, so that I have the image right in my head. Janelle is cut off, like, from the rest of the party, right?
Not anymore. The ghost, the specters are behind you.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You were until the thunder wave went off.
Okay. I think that when she gets cut off and she realizes, right at the same time while all this is happening, and she gets cut off and she seems to be in immediate physical danger, she sort of starts to cower, looking for something to like hide behind or anything. And you see like 2 or 3 more of Janelle just appear around her. So you splitting image.
Nice. Chase, can you both put your abilities in the Roll20?
Absolutely.
Just for the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me hit that. Thunderous word. Bam.
Cool. Thanks. And for me, so I get used to this stuff. Cool. So cost 1, cost 2. Cool. So yeah,
so Janelle, we should probably get going.
Okay. Don't know why you addressed me 3 times. Oh, thank you for this. And she just starts running.
Okay, so I have to flip a coin. That's neat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a 1d2, but yeah.
That's fine. However you want to do it, I don't care.
So the 3 of your duplicates rush forward and are reunited with the party as the specters bless back. So now it's like the group is pushing forward. There's 3 behind the way you came, and then 3 forward the way you want to go. The 3 behind have been damaged already.
I will trail. I'm gonna let Dimitri and Sam do their thing. I'm gonna trail in the 6 o'clock position so that they have to go through me before they get to the rest of the group.
Janelle's like clinging on you.
All
3 Janelles are clinging on you.
I guess we push through, and I will charge the 3 at the end.
On the way forward.
On the way forward, and try to knock them down and make a path for us. No idea if this will work against ghosts, but
it does. You push forward, and the 3 of them like tighten up in front of you, but you kind of knock them over like a bowling pins, and they go tumbling as you press forward. And you all have a moment to go forward, basically leaving 6 ghosts behind you and having nothing in front of you.
Let's go! Come on.
Very impressive as we walk by like the bowled over spirits.
Sam, did you want to do anything?
If we're through them, I will just kind of keep an eye out behind us and make sure none are following.
Oh, they are following. They'll be tailing you.
As long as they don't intend harm, I will leave them alone, as they are traditionally scary but natural. Ghosts are a thing.
More start to float up. Now numbering probably a dozen or more from the ground. Their eyes start to glow with a kind of angry, spectral rage, and they some of them start to form like spectral swords and daggers, and they start to go after you. As these seem to be almost poltergeists. Ingrided.
This is bad and getting worse.
Yes,
As the closest one comes towards us, I will reach out and freeze it.
Okay, you want to put that in chat?
I sure can. So I will use 2 adventure points to freeze a nearby common or minion object, encasing it in ice until you leave the scene. If you freeze a creature, it cannot move or act. The ice shatters and the creature is freed if it takes any additional damage. So it doesn't damage anything, it just stops it.
Nice. So yeah, there's like this skidding of ice, and it locks this specter with 2 daggers that was leaping at you. It gets frozen in place. You hear Dillian kind of shout. He's like, "Oh, this is not good. This is not good stuff we're dealing with. That's a lot of angry ghosts. You know, I've walked here before and I've never had a problem." And y'all can't quite locate where his voice is coming from.
It's invisible.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Are you going to do something about this then?
Oh, jeez. I'm flipping through my book here. Can't quite find the right spell.
As they start bearing down on us.
Oh my gosh, it's torn asunder. Getting my character sheet up here, just looking at Zonoff. Well, if it looks like, so she's frozen one, we've just kind of annoyed the others, and you said there's about half a dozen at this point, or a dozen you said?
A dozen.
A dozen. How far, and I'll shout out to the disembodied voice, how far until our destination?
Oh, a couple miles. But we'll be past the pass pretty soon.
Then perhaps we should continue to hurry.
The next one that gets close to us at all, I'm assuming that Janelle is probably on the slower side compared to everybody else, so it probably gets close to her. I'm guessing, and I think as it like prepares to like swipe at her or whatever, she just turns and looks at it and like, no, go away, go over there. And I'm gonna use over there. If it's appropriate or whatever.
Yeah, read it out for the viewers.
Sure. You make a suggestive gesture, redirecting a nearby creature that is currently hostile toward you. The target redirects its anger towards a different adversary. The effect is cancelled if you harm the creature, and the spell doesn't work if it has no other enemies nearby.
Nice. So you start to, like, a couple of them start to form almost like into a single host, and they start to spiral towards you, and you create a redirection, and it starts to tunnel away from you. And it starts to collide with, like, another formation of ghosts.
Oh,
What?
well, that you just have to tell them to go away.
Dillian shouts out, "Wow, that was some impressive magic." Janelle?
You did that? You did some magic?
Oh dear. He says, "Keep running!" He shouts out, and his voice kind of echoes through the canyon as dozens of more wraiths and poltergeists start to emerge from the mountain.
Sam, you are right. I'm very good at talking.
Sure are, and I'll take her elbow and help her run.
Okay. Zonoff, I want you to roll me a die of fate.
Absolutely. 13, success.
Nice. So kind of leading the charge with the group, you are able to kind of rush past the pass as this like massive host of ghosts starts to funnel towards you. And you can see the path starts to narrow, and you can imagine why a group of 10,000 soldiers fell on this day, because it was it would be almost impossible to fit in any kind of army through here. With a crack of thunder, Dillian appears at the top, like kind of towards in front of you all at the top of the pass. He's like, "Okay, I've never tried this one before," and he claps his hands together. And when he does, there's like a ripple of thunderous energy throughout the pass, and you see boulders start to collapse or start to fall, building a stack of rock between you and the ghosts, and cutting them off from going forward, and cutting you all from going back. But you're safe from the hosts of wraiths.
Well,
Dillian, that was quite effective.
Oh yeah, I was trying to just blow them all away, but I guess that works too.
I mean, it's going to make it very hard for us to get back to the ship, but
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
thankfully the ship flies and can hopefully meet us.
It would probably get attacked in Kardun.
Yeah. Remember that thing I said about Kardun warding itself against airships? I'm sure we can find a way past a couple of boulders and through a legion of ghosts that will be ready for us.
Easy.
Of course.
And
So
across...
you said that,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
so you said you've been here before and never encountered the ghosts?
Yeah, I pass through here all the time.
And that thing that you did when we couldn't see you?
You couldn't see me?
Nope.
Oh, I was just up there, and he like points to like these nice stairs high atop the pass.
Oh yeah, that probably would have helped. Well, you know, you live and learn.
Wait.
Maybe we can take the stairs on the way back.
It would
Maybe.
make sense.
I didn't see where they led.
Huh? Wow. Interesting.
And he turns north towards the exit of the pass, and you see before you a desert expanse, as Kardun is in fact a kingdom. A place of deserts. It's not a kingdom. It's not a republic. I forgot what the Karduni's government is. Oh, it's a magocracy. Excuse me, the magocracy of deserts.
Okay. Monsieur Zonoth, you can turn this off now. She just like starts shooing at her duplicates. This is
Janelle, that was not me. The mother has given me many gifts, but nothing quite like that.
okay. Well then, Zillion, make this go away, please.
You're a neophyte.
I'm sorry. What did you just call me?
A neophyte. Someone who's inexperienced in performing magic, but capable of performing magic.
You are mistaken.
Well, I'm a wizard of legendary renown who owns their own tower and school.
Yes, and you made this. So please make it go away.
I may not always know what my spells do, but I know when I do them. I didn't do either of those things you did in the past.
You think that I did this?
I know for certain you did.
Well,
Because I am Dillian, wizard extraordinaire. He kind of flies back a little bit.
well, you won't be useless after all. Town this way, yes.
Dillian kind of looks out. He's like, let me think for a bit. And he like floats in the air and sits back and starts to think.
Okay.
The mother has given us all gifts. I mean, perhaps this is yours.
Away! Away! She just continues trying to make stuff disappear.
How long do they
While
last?
continuing going along. It doesn't actually say, but I imagine it's just for like the scene. I would presume.
Yeah.
Forever. It's 40
So-
years later. You're trying to go to a movie. They charge you triple.
They charge you triple, not the triple.
I'm sure they eventually like fizzle away, but like she's just trying to figure out how to make them leave.
I think that went as well as it could have. We all handled ourselves admirably. Dimitri, that was inspired, knocking them over like that.
They were in their way. It seemed the best way forward is always forward. So,
And of course, Sam, had we not known they were coming, perhaps they could have cut us off.
It's always proved useful to know what's here and what isn't. Matthew, do I sense any other danger besides on the other side of the rocks?
None.
Beautiful. Can I sense? This is a stretch. Can I sense where the town is?
Nope. No town. Dillian sits back and thinks, and he comes back up. He kind of kicks his legs forward and rests on the ground. Aha! Yes. Are any of you very good at finding water or lightning?
I can create water.
No, we gotta find it.
I mean,
If
if we look around, we might be able to see some, but I don't have anything that can locate it, not magically.
Yes, you. Look around. Do that.
Perfect. I'll start wandering around, but not too far away into the expanse of the desert.
Okay, I want you to go ahead and roll me a die of fate. Oh, shit. I exited roll 20.
pro gamer move.
Tough choice. 7.
Tough choice. Let me consult something. They have a nice little suggested area that I bookmarked. Got my collectors, my limited edition.
Oh,
Ooh.
is it leather bound?
No, it's very nice though, and it has golden pages, and it's just very nice. Very
Beautiful.
nice. Yeah. Thank you to Corey Hickson for it. Okay. Tough choices.
Last time I was gifted a TTRPG book, it consumed me.
What book would that be?
The Expanse RPG.
Who gifted you that?
Rob and Liz. Good friends.
Oh, neat.
Although Corey gave me Scum and Villainy, which is also high on my list and I have to check out. I've been studiously avoiding reading it for risk of being addicted.
Okay. So you are going to be given a tough choice. Here's what happens: you are going to be able to find the things of water sources, but you are either going to break an item or damage yourself in the process.
I don't really have any items to break, so I will damage myself.
Okay. What happens here is there's like a sound, and you see Dimitri just fall through like a hole in the sand, and you're like, ah! You take 4 damage.
Found it.
and there's just like this drip, drip, dripping noise that you can hear far off in the distance as you seem to find some kind of underground cavern.
So I imagine it. Dimitri's just like stomping around in the sand, like looking for like wet spots or just loose stuff.
Yeah.
Just boom.
Good job, Dimitri.
Did anyone bring
Yeah.
rope?
Oh no! Is that one of the 12 items? Do we have the rope? Oh no!
The inventory is for special items. It's not for mundane nonsense like ropes and stuff, depending on what kind of game you're playing. But
Have a magic candle.
Bit of a first step.
Be unfortunate. I will see if someone else has some hope.
Hope.
I would have a pack's worth of mundane things.
This dress does not have pockets.
I don't need hope to get out of this hole. I need rope. Rope.
Yes, this is what I said.
Well, don't just mope around.
What can you see in the hole? Is there a cavern? Is there...
I hear dripping. It's pretty dark down here, actually. Quite a ways, but there's water. I'll fumble around in my pockets to see if I have matches or something to make some amount of light. Just like strike one.
yeah, you could even have like a torch if you wanted.
Okay.
And you see as it goes, it lights up. You see just a beautiful, it starts to kind of catch the light, and there's like almost like a ping pong effect as these crystals that are within this light up. And when one lights up, the next lights up, and it just kind of travels across this great tunnel, and then it fades eventually out of sight. There's this kind of gentle trickle of water far in the distance that you can hear, and the ground itself is just kind of got that kind of wet cave kind of look to it.
Seems like a cave filled with crystals. I think it's safe. I don't hear anything else but the water down here.
You see Dillian's face poking. He's like, I think you found a wayfaring cave. Do the crystals seem to follow a path and light up one by one?
Yes, they pinging around with the light.
The Kardunese use this to do supply lines in a safe and controlled environment, so they don't have to fight the desert climate and the horrible sandworms.
Can the sandworms get into the caves?
No.
Good. I'm staying down here.
They just sift through the loose sand and soil. But man, they're big.
On that note, I'm going to find somewhere to tie this rope so we can all get into the cave without harming ourselves.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where you could just declare that you get into the cave.
Somebody else spins down. Don't leave him up there.
I guess like everyone could roll a die of fate or whatever, but I don't think that's what we're doing here.
That spins
Beautiful.
with us. Oh my god.
So we can describe it like in a cool way.
Yep. Well, or an uncool way, whichever fits your fancy.
Yeah. I'll just like look and hop down and just kind of like at the last minute like put my arms out to slow my descent and then land easily. Oh, that was a deep hole.
Yeah, I should have done that. I didn't.
Well, wherever you end up is where you're supposed to be.
I guess that's true to an extent. My ankle hurts a bit, so I don't know if it disagrees with you, but pretty sure I didn't want to end up hurt.
Dell eventually makes her way down with a lot of hesitation, trepidation, and fear. And help, hopefully.
So Sam would have tied off a rope and put a loop at the bottom and had you put your foot through it and have you hold on to the rope, and with one of the other person's help lowered you into the cave and then climb down the rope normally. like you do.
And you can see now that you're kind of down there, like you can even see that like it's like something has fallen in almost, and like this probably used to be part of a more sophisticated network, and there probably used to be a way to get in and out or whatever. Dillian just kind of has his head poking out. He's like, "Okay, now that everyone is down there, here I come."
I'm gonna step back and not catch him.
He looks over. He's like, "Oh no!" And you see just this massive worm-like creature roll over him, and he's gone from vision.
Oh no!
And you hear him shout. He's like, "Just follow the crystals!"
I did have my prey sense up still, so he wouldn't have been ambushed.
This is
Unless
where
he
he
wanted
goes
to.
and fights the sandworm, and then when he comes back to save our collective asses at the moment we most need them, he will now be in all white.
They called him Dillian the White.
Yes.
Just
And the desert wind leaves you behind as the sand kind of fills in the hole that you've made.
good music.
Thanks. Tabletop audio, of course.
Was that not a prank? Is he not joking here? Is he gone?
I'm sure
you
that
still
he'll
have
be
your
back.
tent?
He's hours or so.
Is that Sam?
We are going to die here.
Do you still have your tent in a can?
Yes?
Then it wasn't a prank. The tent is still here. And I will start to purr.
Okay.
And give everyone night vision, dark vision.
I can see in the dark.
Oh, that was very helpful. Thank you, Sam.
Affected creatures may occasionally feel the urge to stop what they are doing and clean themselves.
Janelle
Yep.
already feels that urge, so.
So for the viewers at home, let's talk about what just happened. What did you spend, and what can you read off the effect that you chose?
Yes, so wild aspect, I'd used 2 adventure points and took a wild aspect of a cat. You purr softly under your breath, imbuing up to 6 creatures with the spirit of the cat. For the next hour, affected creatures gain the ability to see things nearby in complete darkness, if it was as if they were in a dimly lit room. The effect cannot pierce magical darkness. Affected creatures may occasionally feel the urge to stop what they are doing and clean themselves.
Cute. So yeah, you and you all gain this vision of darkness as the cave kind of lights up. You can see, you could just see as far as human eyes can see, and luckily there's no ridiculous thing where you can only see 60 feet for some reason, because if people can only see 60 feet, you can see in darkness as far as one could see. So you see for good ways.
Yeah, my eyes must have just adjusted. Perfect.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Sandy.
that Dimitri, can figure out his way. So if we just can continue on, I'm sure that we'll be fine. Yeah. That was strange.
We just saw somebody get eaten by a sandworm, so strange is... yeah, relative.
So he said follow the crystals, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's follow the
Yes.
crystals. Follow where the torchlight goes.
Okay. And yeah, again, as the torchlight illuminates one crystal, it has this kind of ripple effect. Boom, boom, boom. And they're even accompanied with like a little bit of a gentle song. Boom, 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 boom. And they radiate outward. And with that, let's go ahead and take a short little break. Stretch and get our water and go to the bathroom. Before we hop to break, thank you all so much for watching tonight. Make sure you're following. Consider subscribing. Give 2 subscriptions. We appreciate you tuning in tonight for Quest and the Tales from Gishari. We're having a good time, and we hope you are too. Let us know what you're enjoying in the chat, and say hi. And we'll be back in 10 minutes.
You can see it.
Okay, we are back. Our accused party of there's a word for this. You're on the lam, whatever we call you. The
Fugitives.
Fugitives. There it is. Our little party of fugitives have passed through the Kardun Elementine war ruins. Oh, you know what? I forgot a cave art. That's okay. And are underneath the deserts of Avamia, or excuse me, of Kardun. I'm working on getting a thing up. And the wizard Dillian has been he kind of got snatched by a sandworm, but we're praying for him. And they are making their way through this cave of this Wayfarer's Cave, as it's called, through glowing crystals that are guiding their path. So, team, this is an opportunity for you all to. This is an opportunity. What kind of thing? I mean, you can always do whatever you want, right? But this is an opportunity to share an insight, to discuss where you are and what you believe, like where you are in the story and what you believe in. It is a moment to explore and be curious about your surroundings. It is that kind of moment for the time being as you press forward to this Wayfarer's Cave. Where are you, cave? So tell me, what do you do?
The meter will go up to one of the crystals that light up, and when it makes the light pinging sound, he'll just tap it and see if it makes the same noise.
Yeah, you tap it, and it doesn't make the same noise, but it does make a noise. Bong.
Then I'll just start pinging a bunch of different ones as I walk along. So just walking along, pinging the different crystals.
And you can tell that there's almost like a musical, like you could, like if you know anything about music, there's some notes to this whole thing. Where are you? Hey, the music started playing for the track. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, finally.
God tier timing.
There are notes to this whole thing.
It's nice. It's pretty. Calming. Much better than sandworms.
A little oasis in the desert. I'll be honest, this is the first desert that I've seen. Very dry.
It is similar to Trascan tundras. Not much.
Thought tundras were
pretty
cold.
barren. They're cold. It's not. It's hot, but there's nothing around. It's big open area. I don't like caves so much, but this one's nice. I like being in the open sky.
So since the wizard Monsieur Dillian seems to have been whisked away by a sandworm, and he is the only one who knew what we were really doing and how to do it. What do we do now?
Yes, the way is always forward. We just keep going forward. I'm sure he'll find us, or we'll find something.
I mean,
Still have that
You
pretty
think, yeah.
pendant around your neck, don't you?
Yes.
It was a gift. You wouldn't leave it behind.
do
You
not
still
understand.
have the wizard's focus, right?
The necklace, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
He claimed to not know what it was. So
I think things will work out. You know, we were gathered here for a reason. We each of us have gifts. I think if we follow the path, yeah, much like these crystals, it will soon become illuminated. You just have to have a little bit of faith.
well, okay.
I mean, half an hour ago, you didn't know that you could make duplicates of yourself. Who knows? Maybe once we get to the place, you know, other things will come out. Worst we could do is try.
I think the worst we could do is die, but sure.
I mean, there are worse things than death, obviously.
I suppose. Destitution ranks up there as well.
Becoming an undead spirit in the past. Never being able to leave. It's pretty terrible. So let's not do that one.
That ranks pretty low on my list.
Of what things to do?
Oh. Yeah. Being an undead spirit in a past, unable to leave forever, would be pretty terrible.
Yes. Would have to agree about that. About that? Whatever. Works.
Oh. So, Dimitri, you're from Droska?
Yes.
How long have you been in Gishari?
About a year, 2 years or so. I came from, hold on. Notes. I don't have my notes up. I came from Berska, Droska, and came to Antennia to see like the red airships. I was working for Dicker's company, and that kind of didn't work out too well after he blew up an airship, and so the company kind of dissolved, and I was fired, and I've just been picking up other jobs, trying to make do. But one day I'll be back out there, and I will make the best airship in the world.
I don't
And in
doubt
order
it.
to do that, we move forward, always forward. We can't ever reach your goals if you're standing still. What about
And
you?
Janelle? Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Wow. I mean, there's not much to tell. I'm from Korkoth, just wandering the world, following the will of the Mother of Mothers and spreading her good word, doing some good deeds. I honestly lost track of how long I've been in Gishari, maybe a few years. Yeah, so I just kind of, I think the local expression is just go with the flow, so to speak. And it's never served me wrong.
Seems like a good expression.
Yeah, but
Makes me highly nervous.
and why is that?
Just going with the flow. Just. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what even is that?
Every experience is a lesson. Every loss is a gain.
Have you ever danced a new dance without knowing the steps?
No, I practice for hours before each ball.
You walked into that one.
Sure did. Sure did.
You know,
Does the word improvisation mean anything to you?
I hear that musicians do this sometimes, and it is always risky.
But it pays off. Like
If
this.
if it does not, then it means destitution and complete lack of, complete loss of reputation.
But then you
Because
know
they are known as
what doesn't
unreliable.
work. You know what doesn't work. Then you try again. Just like the notes, and I'll ping a couple in succession. And if it sounds good, it sounds good. If it doesn't, ping a couple more.
Plays a completely discordant tone. Roll for fate. You know, if you're anxious, you're living in the future. You want to be at peace? Live in the present.
I do not know if I agree with that one, but okay.
I mean, my word isn't gospel. That's Mother's, so take it or leave it. So this cave, huh? Pretty damp.
Yes.
Please tell me we've been walking this whole time.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank God.
You eventually come to what seems to be like the water starts to be almost like a standing half inch, and you eventually come to what looks to be like kind of a large kind of a cavern. The bridge of land that you're now trespassing across a great kind of a thin sheet of water. Excuse me. There is basically a bridge of land that cuts a big old pool of water in half, and it's in this great chasm. And this great cavern. And you can just keep walking on, but there is these pools of water, these great large pools of water that seem to have filled in some kind of area.
Have we found the lightning yet?
Didn't this Dillion say we needed to find the water?
Water and lightning. So I'd recommend not touching the big pools of water.
Okay, that is good to know.
He did not tell us what for though, so
Well, I mean, if he did say that he needed to use some source of elemental
power.
energy to empower this spell or whatever he was talking about using to defeat this countess and take her heart. The heart is not her heart. So lightning is like air energy, I think.
So he asked us to find large amounts of lightning and water, both elements, obviously. And he didn't know how he was going to capture those, but conveniently we have what appears to be a very powerful focus. And somehow we need to harness this energy and take it back with us. And figure out how to get back to Ignatius Califracius.
What focus?
Your necklace.
If it is actually a focus, I think that we still do not completely know if that is the case.
Natural jewels work just fine as focuses. And
You think
would I
it
be able
will
to
be
tell if it was
harmed?
magical?
It is magical.
Okay, but I'd be able to confirm that or know it being a naturalist.
You could tell it's magical.
Okay. It is magical.
Okay. But surely no harm will come to it, right? It won't be, destroyed in this process.
provided it's used correctly.
Okay.
And if it is, we glue it back together. This rock. Easy to put back
Pearl
together.
clutching at this point.
Clutching at her pearls. While they're talking, I'm going to look down at one of those little pools that you said is kind of gathered around.
Yep, you see what seems to be a temple, like with all these kind of great big columns that have been crushed, collapsed, dilapidated, and destroyed. And there's fish and things swimming about. No monsters, it doesn't seem. And there's just this great, much kind of like the art on there. There's this great big head of what used to belong to a great big monument that's just sunken into the ground, like almost the chin is starting to be absorbed and be one with the cavern. And it seems to be it's not as human as the art. It's non-human, but it is the face of some great large monument in a temple, long lost.
Oh, would you look at that? Hey guys, looky here. We found water. Maybe there's some lightning down there.
I don't think I can hold my breath that long, and I don't think lightning lives under the sea. But I'm not this well versed in the elements.
And, in the northern seas of Korkoth, there are these vast serpents that, emit lightning. Call them eels.
Eels.
Maybe there's
Any
eels here.
eels?
Does someone want there to be eels?
Sure, that would be fun. I think that would be interesting if we're trying to gather a lot of water and lightning.
There are eels.
Yeah, I mean, they look a little different from the ones in Korkoth, but that looks like an eel to me. Maybe if we, I don't know, go rub the necklace on it, it'll capture the lightning.
Want me to rub this on the fish?
I mean, when they zap you when you get them agitated, They just kind of go
How
down
are
there.
we supposed to grab one if they zap you?
I mean, that's part of the fun.
Matthew.
I don't think we're playing this out very well.
Is there a way forward, or are we just in a cavern with water and a big head?
You all reading into my what was the question, Liz? Sorry.
Is there a way forward, or are we just in like a dead end with
No.
water and a big head?
Nope, the way is forward. It's just like kind of one of those moments where it's like, oh, what's this? What are we looking at? And then you kind of can move on.
Oh, okay, we're reading way too much into this.
I took all
no.
of the wrong
I wanted you to
skills.
stop.
Okay.
Do we have any idea who the head belongs to? From not that we would know stories of Kardun, but potentially the elementals?
Yeah. This is one of what is known as the Mage Princes or Trade Princes of Kardun, one of the more ancient ones. You don't know his name. However, as you all sit there and contemplate the loss of history here, you all take 1 damage. As you realize that one day you'll turn to dust, people will have forgotten your name, and all of your accomplishments, no matter how much you work for them, will be lost to history, lying dead in a ruin.
The existential crisis. We should continue.
Well, that was fun.
Well,
1 second.
it is dark.
Maybe rubbing the necklace on the eels isn't the way to go. I mean, we can always come back and do it.
Maybe another time.
They call that eel wrangling back in Korkoth. You just get in there and you just kind of jostle them up a little bit and they zap you. All right.
There is, however, like this glowing light in the ruins.
Like underwater, or where we can reach it?
Underwater, not where you can reach it. I mean, not with an arm's length reach.
On top of walking, we have to do some swimming.
I mean, Sam, you were able to kind of, let us see in the dark earlier. Can you make us breathe underwater?
If I hadn't taken freezing and I'd taken gills, sure. But I didn't take gills. I also didn't take the talk with stones, which would have been useful.
Imagine talking to the ruin.
But I will
Ruin
create
of ennui.
a-
Existential dread.
That's right.
How far down does the glow look?
Good ways, 100 feet. This is a massive ruin that you're kind of peering into. It's illuminated by the crystals kind of continuously, like your torchlight flickers, and it's like bong, 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 and you get a glimpse of it. It's just this kind of rolling light. It's almost hypnotizing.
Maybe when we find Dillian, we can bring him back here.
Yeah.
We should keep moving forward.
And remember, you can literally just say, I'm going to go get the thing, and then we roll the die of fate. That's how this game works. You don't need a special ability to swim.
Sure, I will go.
I just-
I mean, if it's, hundreds of feet down, you said, though?
100 feet.
I don't swim that much. Is that, like, drowning distance?
I mean,
The die of fate will determine that.
It rolls the natural
Most-
one.
Distance.
Most waterproof watches are 50 meters, which is more than 100 feet. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Right. And to be fair, you can drown in an inch of water, so.
What I was just saying, yeah.
Drowning is actually about, like, your mental. Like, you have to know that you'll come out. Also, air capacity, but, yeah.
Mhm.
I have opinions.
And hey,
I will
ice
go
flo-
get the thing.
Ice
Okay.
floats, too.
Roll the die of fate.
I can't wait.
Failure. Abject failure.
Abject.
You are dismissed. As you swim down, there's like this almost like trick of light, and you're like a good ways, and then you reach out for it as you know that you have it in your grasp, and your hand just passes through it, and there's this kind of ripple as all the lights start to connect, and you realize although you're far down, the light is not where you thought it was, and it's actually further away. And you actually, it was kind of one of those things where you're like, okay, just a little further, a little further, a little further, and then you swipe at it, and you start to realize you're running out of air.
Then I will head back up.
Okay. As you do, you fight for gasps of air, and you will take 1 damage from beginning to drown.
That's not terrifying at all.
Did you get it? Oh, no. Okay.
Did you
No.
get an eel at least? No?
Why do we want fish?
I can multiply fish if you really need them, but nope. It is farther away than I thought it would be. So if anyone wants to go get it, don't die. Good luck. And I will start heading towards like the edge of the next room away from the water.
I'm pretty sure I can't really swim that well.
I spent a lot of time on a boat. I can give it a shot. If you immediately know the candlelight is fire, then the meal was cooked a long time ago. You know what I mean?
No.
Then Zonoff is just going
Not
to kind of
really. No, I don't.
Zonoff is going to nosedive into the water and try to swim down for it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20. A die of fate.
Roll that.
Excuse me.
Beautiful bead footage. Come on, mother, guide me.
Okay. Your tough choice is simple. You can head back, or you can grab the thing and take some damage.
I'll grab the thing and take some damage.
You grab the object, and it glows with light. And then the moment you touch it, the light fades, and you start to swim back. You'll take 2 points of damage.
Got it.
And you bring it back up. It's a very strange object. You're not. I don't know if you quite know. Well, I'll describe it either way.
I describe it?
No, sorry, I will describe it. Sorry, I'm just
Okay, gotcha.
deciding which item it is. I have a list of ones I wanted to get out. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it makes sense. It is like a small, compact battering ram with a ram's head on the edge. It is magical.
As I kind of like come up for water. Oh, that was pretty deep. Get the water out of my ears, and then kind of plant the thing up there. It's like, when's the last time you saw a ram at the bottom of a water pit?
Never.
Kind of a strange thing to find down there. Same here. They
Where did they?
get up and kind of.
I have not seen any many like animals. How did a ram get down there? Did it got into this cave and then drowned here?
Oh no! I kind of hold up the object. It's like a battering ram. I
Oh,
was just making a joke.
oh,
Does it have a ram's head you said on it, Matt, or is it literally just a battering ram?
A ram's head. Yep.
so that kind of ram. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
And you realize that it's probably a relic of a time when this temple was breached, the door was broken down, and the temple was sacked. Of a war long past.
Okay. That was a betting man, which I'm not because that's a temptation. I would bet that this helps knock down doors or something.
It's called Ramification, and it's in the treasure deck.
Eee.
Treasure deck! Gotta look it up!
Oh, okay.
For anyone who wants to hear it. The warrior, perhaps, or whatever. Whatever, anyone. It's a usable item by anybody.
I'm looking up right now. Do you want me to read it out to anybody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. I am finding it right now. Ramification. It's sideways. Ramification. This small magic battering ram with 2 handles can be used by a single person. When you activate the ram, you can use it to hit and break a wooden door of any size. The door shatters into tiny splinters and has a 3 next to that action. So I'm guessing that's 3 action points?
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh. What do you think, Dimitri?
Sure, I could probably figure out how it works.
I'll toss it over to him. Oh, quick hands!
And I will attempt to catch it.
You catch it.
Die of fate.
Roll.
He shatters into little pieces. What have I done? It was the door the whole time.
Shatters and
Pins
you take
was in the
4
way.
damage.
Exactly. There's a door.
Spins is in the way, is no longer in the way.
That's right.
I think Spins is following you. Actually, now I
Yeah.
think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just behind us. From the darkness of the tunnel.
I don't really have pockets big enough for the spins. Do you mind holding this? I mean, maybe your spinning will come in handy with this. And I will hand it over to Spins.
I just want Matthew to roleplay Spins for the rest of the night, please.
Hi, puppers.
Spins, who's definitely not an Antinian spy.
Spins is a sparrow
They wouldn't betray
warforged.
us like that.
No,
Yeah.
he's a cursed prince. Come on. Cursed prince.
Was there anything else you all wanted to do while you're at this monument, this kind of area, this space?
No, I'm good.
Been a long time since I got to dive like that. That was pretty fun. Maybe we stop by here on the way back, without all the ennui.
Place does have an effect. I don't think we should stay here.
I think that would be a bad idea, honestly. But stopping by on the way out might be nice. Take another dip. Hey, all ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. As you all press on, the mung 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 lights the way, and you press forward eventually to what seems to be a very crude staircase, probably once finely hewn. It has now fallen to the degradations of time, as Kardun is actually an incredibly ancient kingdom. These are the story of Kardun is it's often told is these are the mage lords that actually sided with the primordials in the Dawn War. They're non-humans. They're non-humans, but they actually sided with the primordials during the Dawn War, during the first spark of divinity, when the gods raged against their creators. Before those gods faded into history, some of the lesser beings that the gods and the primordials were raging over were these humanoid figures, some of them blessed with great magical power, and the Mage Lords of Kardun were one of the very few humanoid people who sided with the primordials themselves. And as a reward, the greatest of those Mage Lords was given the Spire of Conflicts by the 4 great primordial gods: the Immortal Tempest, the Eternal Earth, the Ever-Living Inferno, and the Abyssal Tide. And yeah, you're at this what seems to be an exit.
This didn't manifest as a staff at some point, did it?
You literally have that. The what was it called? No, the Clutch of the Elder Gods. What did I say?
Use its Spire of Conflicts.
Yeah, not the Spire of Conflicts, the Clutch of the Elder Gods.
Got it. I thought it was just like there was a bigger version of it.
Spire
that
of
had been
Conflicts
paired
is
to-
the Spire of Conflicts was my inspiration for the staff. It's from CR.
Gotcha.
Thought it was a neat item, so I created my own version with its own story.
Yeah, Clutch of the Elder Gods.
Clutch of the Elder Gods, yep.
Oh boy.
Your name is cooler.
I like Spire of Conflicts, but I do think my name is cooler. And it's a very different story. A very different story. I just was like, oh, elemental staff, that's neat. I'll make one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How far does it feel like we've walked underground?
Quite a while. It's been some time. Miles, you would say.
Kilometers.
We must be
for those
deep
of us.
into Kardun at this point.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Kardun is a pretty big country.
Yes, we have walked very far.
Well, look, stairs.
Correct.
Head up them.
I would like you to roll me the Die of Fate.
Ugh. Oh,
What do you get for walking upstairs?
that's right.
I succeeded.
You are good.
Describe to me how you open. It's like basically a hatch, like a latched, locked hatch. How do you see Dimitri open this successfully when he's met with resistance?
If it's, I'll just give the push, and do I hear like a lock rattle on the other side? Like, how secure do I think it is?
It's not very. It's the door itself is secure, but you could tell there's something kind of unstable above it.
Okay, I'll give it a little bit of a harder push, and then a harder one, and then eventually just punching at where I think the weak point is to try to push it open.
Okay. It breaks apart and flies open, and actually falls out the other direction upwards. And there's like a bit of rubble that falls in, a little bit of dust, but nothing severe. And you can kind of see that there's all these like very loose and kind of tenuous rock formation that was kind of ready to fall in on this. This thing has been buried in some kind of avalanche.
Just everyone be careful coming out. It's a little bit precarious. I'll crawl out carefully, not to disturb any of the stones, or if I see any that are loose or look like they're gonna fall, kind of moving them off to the side, or so they don't drop on anyone.
You come out on a. Did I do this right? You come out on a location after sifting through the rubble safely because the die of fate has been rolled. You come out on a location that defies things that you have seen before. All in one is these kind of mesas in the middle of this desert that have these spinning and energized and electrified stones. There are these. There is puddles of beautiful crystal blue water between these kind of crooked mesas, much like the art that we see here. And there is this tropical oasis-like thing kind of between all these different mesa primal stones, as we call them. And this is all in the middle of a vast desert that you can see around you forever. This seems to be a place where air, water, earth, and fire meet.
Feel the lightning. This is probably the place he was talking about, rather than underground.
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, rubbing the amulet on the fish was probably a dumb idea.
Yeah, that probably not have worked.
I mean,
I tried to say as much, but you know.
You miss every chance you don't take.
I suppose. Okay.
Is there like a convergence in the middle where there'd be like a stone tablet or?
The Oasis seems to be in I wouldn't say convergence in the middle, but it seems to be like a location, a central-ish location.
Got it. So there's no like rights table.
There's
just open.
Yep, there's no stone table. There's like some small little like shrines and things like that, and there's maybe even like a small temple that's long been since abandoned. Yeah, and in the sky you see these very long serpents with these wings. Well, I don't know if I should. I don't know what. I don't know. I'm sure Rob will tell me if I need to adjust the volume. I adjusted on my end for myself. I'm good. There are these long serpent-like creatures that seem to fly in the air, and they have wings on them, but they're not like they are not like drakes, like wyverns, you know, where their wings and claws meet, and they're not quite like dragons, where these wings are great expanses. They don't seem proportional to the rest of their body. They're good size. They're like teeny tiny wings, but they're like these almost bird-like wings on feathery, almost like eagle wings on the back of these serpents that are flying in the sky. And they seem to be paying attention to what's going on the ground. There's a couple of them.
Oh, we have guardians.
Perhaps scavengers? Or simply predators?
Well, no, I'm sure we'll figure it out. And I start walking towards the oasis.
Yeah, you enter the Oasis. It's quite beautiful. Like, there seems to be some people who have camped here before, some small campments. Not recently or anything. A small temple, kind of unused, long since abandoned. Some small shrines and things like that. Maybe a couple, perhaps a paper, a discarded journal here or there.
Seems like a nice enough place to take a breather.
You're all pretty tired from the travel, that is true.
Yes. A rest would be good.
I could take a, if you guys want to take a rest, I could take the first watch.
I mean, we could just sort of sit and recuperate and try to figure out what we are supposed to do with this elemental magic.
Mm-hmm. That's fine by me. I think that works.
Sounds like a good plan.
I forget the rules for recovering hit points, Matthew. I know it's like up to half, but is it like if you're below half, you can't recover any?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'll look really quick. Resting.
So yeah, these stones are kind of held in suspense on these kind of these claw, like almost crab claw like mazes, and they warble and turn, and there's like this dull thrum in the background, this kind of noise that they emit. The closer you get, the louder that noise is.
It's a very, very alien place. Strange. Do the serpent, do the small winged creatures, do they seem to take notice of us?
No, you're just in the Oasis. They haven't taken notice of you. I mean, they know you're they are paying attention to what's going on the ground. They haven't taken a special notice of you, but they do know that you're there.
Okay. So, just for you guys, the rules for resting, if you're below 5, you basically heal up to 5 on a short rest. So it's like, if you're at 0, you heal 5. If you're at 2, you heal 3. Doesn't seem like you go over 5, though, from how I'm reading this.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Up to the halfway point. Long rest, you fully regain. Yeah, if we want to take a little load off, I'm fine doing that. And maybe we can figure out. I don't know. You said that there was a convergence of the elements. Where was the fire? I might have missed the fire.
The massive desert surrounding you.
Oh, it's metaphorical fire. Ah.
It's the heat.
Got it.
In the same way that lightning serves to be metaphorical air.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are literally want to take a mechanical short rest. I don't know what your health points are at, but I'm fine. I'm at 7.
I'm half, so it won't do anything, but...
I don't think anyone's below half.
We'll take a rest because we have been walking for a while and we're tired, so maybe we... Narratively recoup.
You catch your breath.
Finding flint or, we don't necessarily need fire because it's already hot because we're in a desert. But, snacks or whatever I've got in my bag, I will pass out so that people are, we'll take a light lunch.
That was very much like Alexis from Schitt's Creek. Like, I got Schitt's Creek Alexis vibes, hardcore.
Light lunch.
Yep, perfect. And, I'm gonna pull the 3/4 Seton hard piece of bread from my bag and, my shirt and chew on it for a little bit.
Oh, I brought enough for everybody.
Oh.
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
And
thank you very much.
Sam will hand you a bag or plate or parcel.
Munching away on it. So what this isn't really my wheelhouse, so any of you magic-y types. What do you make of this?
Do not look at me. I did not know I could do magic until today.
I don't even know.
Still not entirely convinced. That
What do I
Dillion
make
guy
of
might
it?
have just been fucking with my head.
Sam, you know that there's a convergence of elements here. You know that these stones are probably critical to they're probably one of the primary sources of power. They seem to be the biggest thing around here. You also know that it's probably smart to talk to the guardians, because taking their resources without asking first is a social faux pas. So you should probably have some kind of offering or some way to call to them.
So, question.
Yeah.
Animal form in this system specifically says you can't cast spells, use items, or speak languages while transformed. Are we sticking to that as part of ETA?
You can speak. You can definitely speak to these guardians while in an animal form. I can't remember. Like telepathically, you could be able to speak and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question.
And is there, you said there's clear pools of water here?
Yep. Beautiful crystal blue water. It's just kind of like ponding everywhere, and then in the Oasis, there's like a proper spring, proper pool, much like the art. Which I think this is Thanawong again, licensed non-attribution, but Thanawong, Grand Failure, Roman 3D, Dominic, all really great artists that put their art on out there for licensing, and God bless them.
Beautiful.
So once I've passed out my lunch, you know, and of course there's a Danish or two, a cupcake in there for anyone with a sweet tooth, perhaps a donut, and pocket bacon left over from this morning, of course. I would point back up at the sky. We should invite the guardians down if you think we should all be part of the conversation. Or I could fly up and try to speak with them on our behalf.
But it makes sense if you have a good idea how to call them down. I mean, they're pretty high up there.
It's magic. If we just ask nicely, loud enough. It's like drawing a giant help sign on a beach. we could figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'd love to meet a guardian. Very sweet. But I'll take your lead if you think one-on-one and makes more sense. But yeah, that'd be sweet. Meet a guardian.
Janelle, you're our talker.
Hello, guardians!
You see one of them like look over, and it starts to shift and wind, and as it does, you realize they were much further away than you realized, and they are far larger than you thought, as almost like a castle-sized leviathan of the air settles in. Its entire you lose sight of its tail as far as it goes, and even a small fraction of its body is larger than these maces as it starts to settle down.
Is it named Haku?
No.
Oh, hello. You are quite grandiose.
I will bow, kneel, offer whatever I've got in my hands that's available to me. Maybe some grass from my own grasslands.
They take in, and you all, one of you could literally fit inside one of their nostrils. That's how enormous these creatures are. And it breathes in, and the grass kind of lifts out from your hand, and it kind of flutters around the guardian's face. The plains below. Why have you come to the primal stones, druid of the grasslands, noble of the holy court? and noble of the Holy Court. They're addressing the two people who have addressed them.
Oh, hello. Well, do you have a name or something by which we should call you? Since you seem to have us at a disadvantage.
We are the guardians of the Primal Stone. And when they speak, the earth itself responds to their command. The air fills with thunder and changes in direction.
Okay, so, Guardian?
Yes.
Yes, we are here because, we are apparently tasked with, reclaiming a heart of a, what was it? A primordial? A giant?
A primordial giant, right? Quail? They didn't tell us that. Did they tell us
The-
that?
The heart of the immortal tempest, Oron.
There we go.
The heart of a tempest, which has been taken and is being misused.
Misused?
I believe that is how it is, yes? When you kill something and take its heart and then do whatever it is you will with it. I was a little foggy on those details. Sam? What is she doing wrong with his heart?
A mortal human has taken the heart of the immortal tempest and using it for their own gains. For better or for worse, I'm sure that's for people smarter and more privileged than us to find out. But it's definitely to the harm of those that would lay natural claim to such things and treat it with the respect it deserves, rather than chaining it in slavery.
Ah. To do so is in violation of ancient compacts. The Guardian speaks. Only the Mage Lords of Kardun can wield the power of the Magus. This Countess, you say?
And Countess of Avamere.
And so you have come to the Primal Stones to draw the power? To break the chains of Oron?
If you would allow.
Their eyes kind of close, and as they do, like, it almost creates a buffet of wind. They open them back up. In truth, we guard the stones against the likes of the Countess and her ilk. I've peered into your hearts and seen that the words you speak are true. Although one among you, I cannot see their truth. And they just ever so slightly adjust to Zoloth. No, Zonoth. You there. A darkness clouds your heart. I cannot see into your truth.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hi, name's Zonoth. From Korkoth. Yeah, my Dread Witch. She kind of shielded me.
As you attempt to tell the origins of your curse, your mouth shuts.
Honestly, it was. Can I? If I don't say the origin of it, can I say what its intent was?
You can try.
I was sent to help stop the Countess of Avamere, and this thing that you're sensing was to protect me from her gaze.
She looks at you and she says, "And yet I do not know if you speak the truth, because your heart is clouded in darkness."
I'm a humble servant of the Mother of Mothers. Anything I can do to prove my truthfulness to you, I'm happy to do.
And she starts to, the Guardian starts to move back, causing almost an earthquake as she does, slithering along the ground. And then she lifts up. She looks down. "You have spoken the truth here today. I expect you know how to draw power from the Primal Stones."
Okay.
That bit we
Funny you
were
should
not
ask.
clear on.
The one with those answers was lost to the sandworms.
Most unfortunate.
Yes.
I'm sure we could stumble through it. Your guidance would be appreciated.
Unfortunately, I cannot share those secrets.
Oh.
It is not my place.
Could you answer me this? Do we appear to have the tools necessary in our possession?
She kind of looks down at you, you now like but specks to her eyes. I believe you do.
Then we will manage. Thank you.
Allow me to tell you. You may draw power from the stone. If you do so correctly, then the ancient pacts will be honored, and I will let you leave. Should you fail to, if you should draw the power from the stone and disrupt the order of things here, throwing the rest of the primal stones out of balance, I cannot let you leave.
Okay. So no pressure then, huh?
None at all.
Okay.
She lifts up into the sky.
We are going to die.
And
I mean,
flies away.
As we're buffeted back.
We should have offered them a Danish. They may have told us we're Danish.
Usually, they require more intangible and powerful items.
Like, a Danish is pretty powerful.
I
Delicious.
mean, these are
See-
good Danishes.
They are good Danishes.
A Danish to a creature of that size is insignificant. Actually, insignificant does not begin to cover it.
I can create infinite Danishes for a minute at a time.
Matthew, I need you to just stay
Cool.
right there. No, tilt your head back. The halo
He's
was
gonna-
perfect.
Little like that.
Just angle your head over a little.
There we go.
Just stay there the whole night.
Someone
You
needs to
can't move.
screenshot that.
Yeah,
I can't or it'll freeze the stream.
I
Someone else
got
get it.
this. Matt, just don't move for the next 10 minutes. Got him. Got him.
Here, doesn't our...
It's okay. Anyway, sorry.
Or is that broken these days? Oh, hey, it worked. All right. So there's 4 stones and 4 of us.
Oh,
You only need to draw power from one.
If they're talking about the balance in the elements, we might want to draw power from all 4 elements. As not
To
to
keep
disrupt
them in
the balance. Yes.
I need to go to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right
Do
back.
we want to take a 5-minute break?
If people need to, we could just like pop out. We're almost done, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm
I assume.
good to
stay.
keep, I'm
Okay.
good
We
to
can
keep going.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Unless that was you asking. I have no objections.
You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Get out of here, Matthew. Get out.
No, my washing machine keeps lying to me. It's unbalanced, but it's smarter than I am, so it keeps trying to balance itself and trying to get rid of the water. And I want to throw the bed sheets in the dryer, but
You have to keep it in balance, just like the stones.
Stones, yes.
Because
That's right,
if
it's
you
like
don't,
stones.
then the washer's not going to let you leave.
That's right.
Guardian of the
The rights
washer.
of the washer dryer will not be satisfied.
okay.
and
Don't
the
joke,
consequences will be dire.
because the washer is actually deep enough that sometimes my feet leave the floor so I can reach the bottom of it.
Amazing.
It craves blood.
Brave
Turns on.
souls.
I literally could sit in that washer. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So,
Gracious.
what do we think that we need to do to actually do this drawing of power?
I have no idea whatsoever.
Okay.
None.
Well, we've gotten lucky so far. Just asking nicely seems to have worked. So as long as we have something that'll hold the power, which we were told we do.
Stones? Would you like to lend us a bit of your strength? Did
There's
that
no,
work?
there's no response.
Okay, talking doesn't work this time.
Okay,
A little bit more complicated than that, but
so we're gonna
No.
we're gonna put on our directorial caps here. We're all gonna be directors here, and this is a story. This is a story, right? And a game. So each of you will
Is this
decide.
a game?
This is yes. I'll give you my notes, and then you all can just tell me what happens, and then we'll roll a single dice. So each of you contributes to the extraction of. You can do a little bit from 4 stones, all from 1 stone. I think a little bit from each stone is great. However, you might do it. Tell me how you contribute. Tell me what you do. It doesn't have to be a specific ability you have. Just whatever makes sense in the fiction for your character to be able to do. You could create water tendrils that shoot everywhere. It doesn't matter. But Janelle, for you will be the one performing the arcane rite to draw the power, and you'll be rolling the dice.
Great.
You're all contributing together, but Janelle will be the one who describes like the pulling and then rolling the dice. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So think about rituals, think about what would be cool and evocative, think about how your character might contribute, and tell me what this looks like. Dimitri was off to a good start, I think, for saying it's a bit from each stone. There's no right or wrong answers. The die of fate is going to decide.
I have mine planned. If you guys don't. Okay.
No, that's okay. I can go last because I
Awesome.
have to do the thing. So
So, Zonoth will sit kind of in a lotus position, legs crossed, and before him, he's going to place his magical candle, which can never burn out, never loses wax. He's going to light it. And then I'm not actually going to use the ability because he says it's not an ability, but I'm flavoring it like this. So I'm going to close my eyes and just start chanting. And I'm basically going to use the invoke ability where I have a conversation with the Mother of Mothers and basically make sure that I'm on the right path. And so I imagine that as I do so, at some point I'll reach out because some of my powers are like kind of thunder themed, and I would help using basically my source powers. I would draw some of the energy from like the air stone or something like that. And yeah, using Mother of Mothers to guide me in the right way. So I imagine I float off the ground as I'm doing this. So I'm like a foot or two off the ground as I'm chanting.
Perfect. Okay. Next.
So, I don't have much I can do, but this sand is pretty easy to move, so I'll pull out the little pouch out of my bag and go and sit in the sand and scoop some in.
And you also
Try.
point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But try to watch the others as they go, not to pull too much, just about the same amount that they're doing.
Cool. And you also already contributed because you suggested drawing equally from 4 stones, and like an engineer would think.
And then I could use Nature's Watch, and it doesn't say I can extend this to others, but do we think we would have the ability to extend? Let me link it so you can see what it says. Could I bend the magics just a little bit to
Yep.
link another and
Yep.
give as many people as possible aura sight so that they can see magic?
Mm-hmm.
It would give us the ability to see magic so that it's something tangible for us all to be able to work on, and then give Janelle whatever support she needs.
Okay. And then Janelle, tell me what this looks like as you draw the power
So,
equal from the stones.
I imagine this takes Janelle like quite a while because she's never done anything on purpose magically before, and I think she's like, okay, all 4 stones. The Oasis kind of bit is like in the center of these 4 stones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think she will like sit down, like on a rock in the sand with her feet in the water on the Oasis, and just sort of like let her arms out so she can feel the wind and she can feel the heat from the sand and the sun, and she can feel the cool lapping of the water on her feet and the earth beneath her, and sort of just try to sort of focus on feeling each of those things and being being aware of their presence, and try to channel them kind of equally at the same time, and being present of like being cognizant of the stone that she's wearing around her neck.
So given the sight of magic, and as Dimitri walks around picking up the sand from each one, collecting that as a resource, as you all sit there in the middle of this oasis, I'm kind of picturing like, almost like in a somewhat of a circle, kind of hoping beyond hope. And then the meditation from Zonoth, the Mother of Mothers does in fact answer your guidance, and you can actually because of the aura, the magic sight, the aura sight, you can actually see the magic surrounding the thing, the thunderous energy warbling around these stones, and you stop them all at once to make them easier to abstract. And then you let out your Janelle, you let out your extraction. Go ahead and roll the die of fate.
Oh. Okay.
There is.
So that happened.
Yes. You draw in. And you see one of the stones go.
Oh no. Oh,
and roll. Your amulet is charged and glows with a great effervescent power. And there is an enormous thunderous roar emitted from the sky as one of the primal stones lays discharged and drained. As a guardian begins to descend. And we will go ahead and... No, but we'll do a little more. We'll do a little more.
oh God. Oh, fucking hell. Well, we clearly can't fight these things and win, so that's not the narrative here. I don't know how.
The guardian echoes throughout the thing. She's like, "There's no going back."
Well, okay, I guess we die.
What do you all do, as you should probably run for your lives?
I think I'm going to start by running for my life.
booking it towards the hatch.
Tell me, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what that looks like.
So how?
It worked.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say it worked before. I will go ahead and howl like a wolf again and give us all haste. Which doesn't say anything about being faster than flying creatures,
No,
but
not this one.
definitely traveling by foot. So kind of collect up Janelle from wherever she's at, and since she's the
No, not that
slowest,
one.
and move us all forward.
There it is. I found it. Yeah, so the wind serpents, and you go ahead and spend those adventure points, and you all start to move like the speed of the wolves as the guardian starts to descend upon you. As the closer and closer it gets, you can feel the earth start to rumble.
Hey, have an idea? I don't know if it'll work.
Sure.
Chanel's very good at being annoying. I'm gonna link this and you tell me if this is something that's applicable in the moment. Phantom Menace. You read the mind of a nearby NPC and produce an illusion of a creature they find extremely irritating. Only you and the target of the spell can see and hear the illusion. For the next 10 minutes, the illusion relentlessly mocks and taunts your target, provoking their full attention.
You read the mind of a nearby NPC. Here's the thing. You can do that. They're not nearby yet. You have to let them get to be nearby before you can do that.
I don't know if they'll even have that.
It might just
Okay,
see us
if
anyways.
they come nearby,
It is just going to
that's
see
what I'll
Janelle.
do.
I mean, that could
They
that
come
could help.
nearby.
How far, like, in the distances that are described, in range, far away?
I would say in range is fair.
Okay. And was the hatch open or closed?
It's open. It's open.
Okay.
I think it was broken.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's beneath this kind of fallen in rock, but yeah.
All right, so Zonoth is going to take 2 steps, and then I'm going to use my thunderous word, but instead of like, it creates a shockwave, right, in the direction, but I'm going to use it to like propel myself like a force jump. So I'm just going to basically thunder. I'm going to thunderous word and try to like launch myself one giant leap to the door.
I'll say you can do that, but since it's your first time doing that in fiction, we'll say you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Because it normally damages enemies, right?
Yeah. So like it creates like the shockwave reverberates back on me a little bit or something.
So it propels you forward. You kind of land close to this. It's like a fallen in like kind of avalanche that covers good part of the hatch. But then there's like this little kind of archway that you can kind of enter into where the hatch is. There is this kind of a rumble in the earth as there's this kind of like yeehaw as a sandworm erupts.
Yes.
From the ground, and you see Dillian on top of one with his hands outstretched into the skies. He looks terrified actually, and the sandworm smacks into the guardian. But as large and massive as the sandworm was, it's about 1/10 of the size as the guardian. So it just kind of bumps into it, and the guardian slowly turns to the sandworm. And Dillian starts to fall towards you all as he falls off the sandworm, and he's like flapping his hands like wings, and he's slowly falling towards you all. Did you get the necklace charged?
Yes, but did it very improperly, and we need to go.
We're running. It's bad.
I'll say. He lands next to you all.
Perfect. If everyone's close by, like if they got there within, my jump now seems unnecessary. But I'll dart into.
It's not unnecessary.
Gotcha. I will wait until my friends get in, though. I'm not gonna like leave them behind.
So the sandworm bumps into it, and the guardian like looks at it, and then just brushes it off as this massive gargantuan creature is cast aside by the guardian scales, and then she just kind of lets out a, and you see a tide of sand and earth rise up. I need someone to roll the die of fate for the party.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
Saw what happened last time I rolled for us, so
Tough choice.
it's not a failure.
A tough choice. I think your tough choice is, I might keep this simple because this is one of the tough choices. You can escape, but you are going to get hit. You are all going to get hit by this wall of sand. Or you can stay behind by burying yourselves into the avalanche, not take the wall of sand damage, and not escape. So you can either take damage and escape, or stay where you are and find a different way out.
I don't know where the other way out would be, and that we wouldn't take damage finding it.
I'm okay. Well, I'll leave it up to the group.
It's an individual choice. You can all be separated.
I'll take the damage.
Yeah, I was leaning in that direction anyways.
Okay.
Because I feel like when we're hit with the sand, it pushes us towards the hatch.
It does.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's also going to wipe out a good chunk of that mountain. Okay, so the damage you take is 5. If it brings you to 0, let me know.
Well, Dimitri.
Yep, it brings me to 0.
Cat, I
I'm
felt
at
that
1.
one in my bones. I'm like, it's gonna be 5 damage, isn't it?
Yeah. There's this like as you all kind of collapse into these wayfaring caverns of crystal and light, and these little, and any torches, and that ever burning candle flickers, and there's like bing bong bing, bing bong bing, and Dillian is with you in the darkness and in the light. Oh man.
Everybody okay?
I think that I don't. Ow! Do we even see Dimitri? Is he just buried in the sand?
Dimitri, I need you to roll me a die of fate. You do see him, but he is buried in the sand.
Oh
Hey.
boy. Oh no.
Oh no.
You are unconscious, but you do not die. You need to roll a 6 or better.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I would
It's
start
happening
digging
again.
Dimitri, Dillian, whoever's stuck in sand, I would bring them out of it. And those who are not awake, I would lie on their side.
Well,
See if we
he's still
just wake
breathing.
up. Sometimes it's the most you can hope for.
We gotta go. We didn't buy ourselves but a moment, Dillian says.
Do we have any other way to transport Dimitri?
Dillian says,
ahead.
give me just a moment. Spins is with you.
There it is.
Spins is like,
Yes!
Yep. Spinning
Spins!
Dimitri around.
Spins picks Dimitri up and is like, Dillian kind of looks at Dimitri and says, just give me a minute. He puts out a hand over Dimitri's like chest, and you can see these kind of scales start to grow over Dillian's arm, and they're like scales of a dark shadow. Not black, not like black, but like I mean they are black, but they're more like a translucent and shadowy rather than like the scales of a black dragon. They are the scales of a dragon of shadow. And his hand turns into a claw as as Dimitri gains 2 hit points. And Dillian finishes like a small chant, and his hand returns to normal. Okay, now we can go.
Did we make it?
You did great, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna quickly cast shield on myself because I've got 1 hit point left. So just grab the pendant of the infant around my neck, and a little glow of blue light comes around me. Well, it'll have to do. Shall we keep moving?
And I support Dimitri if he needs it, and Janelle, and keep running.
Chanel is panicked running.
She hasn't stopped. That would be funny.
Like scrambling up out of the sand. I mean,
Not getting very far in those 4-inch heels.
no.
You all run forward into the Wayfarer Cavern, boom, 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 with the light of a candlelight as the lights ping pong around with Dillian behind you in tow and Spin, still carrying Dimitri, who is quite sore. And yeah, as you return into the darkness, not knowing what lies ahead, we'll go ahead and call it there.
Nice. That was. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, this is a single die roll.
I felt it in my bones. I'm like, oh, Janelle has to do something magical and not do it wrong. It's going to be very bad. Felt it in my bones.
I mean, look at it this way. That was your very first time doing anything like that, and you kind of succeeded. You got the magic out.
We only broke 1 stone instead of all 4.
Right. Could have been a catastrophe. Could have been a 1.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really prepared for the catastrophe. That would have been awkward. All 4 stones breaking.
The Guardian is like, no matter where you go in Edda, I will find you.
Both Guardians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're just it's 40 years later, and like in Kharkov, like in a bar having a drink, the door opens, it's the Guardian there.
Listen, they didn't tell us how to do it properly. Is it really our fault that we did it wrong?
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to give you no instructions, and if you do it wrong, I'll kill you. So
That's right. It's a test that you didn't know was going to happen, had no ability to prepare for, and it's fatal if you fail.
Absolutely.
Wait, is this capitalism?
This is existing, yeah. That's what it is.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying this so far.
Yeah.
Well, I just assumed that we would have 4 elements for the 4 of us. Earth for Sam, light or air for Janelle. What was water for what is it? Water and fire, right? Fire for the engineer, and water for Zonorth, right?
Zonoth. They call me the water boy. They call me the water boy.
But you know what I mean? Just I figured there was 4 of us, 4 elements. We'd all take a piece.
Now I'm thinking about little water boy where it's like, my mama, because I was talking about his mom. So that would be a very different way to play Zonoth.
Well.
Oh boy. Glad I didn't give you this idea 3 weeks ago. I'm very glad I didn't.
Call me the water boy, yeah.
Call me the water boy.
So I'm Alexis. You can find me at Fox Fanato on Twitters and such. I played Janelle this evening, and I had fun doing so. My favorite moment for tonight.
It's not whatever's happening.
Moment for tonight was actually when Janelle had to when Janelle failed. The failure. I felt it coming. I knew it was going to happen. And then the dice, they delivered. They tell the story too. So I loved that. But I honestly also really, really loved just the moment where Matthew described just how fucking massive these guardians are, describing them, and just the sense of dread and fear, and you can't fuck with that, was well delivered. So that's me. Take it away now, Liz.
Hi, I am Liz. I played Sam, a naturalist tonight. You can find me at Know When You Know Backwards and all of my socials. Favorite moment, probably when Dillian was taken from us. Because as a player, you always want that safety net, that thing that you can fall back on, and it makes a better story when you don't have it. So taking that safety net of not knowing how that ritual is supposed to necessarily work is was a great storytelling twist. So yeah, even though that sounds like a weird favorite moment, that would be my favorite moment from the evening. And I will pass it along to Rob.
So Rob at Paramount 84. I played Dimitri tonight. I think my favorite moment was the Vox and Chad, the Gandalf fighting Shai Hulud, the just coming out on the Sam wearing Shai Hulud, just hitting it. The fact we kind of alluded to it earlier, like he's gotta leave and come back, save us.
Entirely spelled it out.
I will go ahead and pass it to Chase then.
Hello, I'm Chase. You can find me at Chase314S. You can also find me on all of our social media accounts where I post TTRPG memes every single day. Join us this Saturday while we play Cold Suns, a sci-fi convergence. It's a Halo meets Stargate meets a bunch of other stuff mashup. Keep your eyes out. There's to be something kind of special about this weekend. So you'll just have to tune in to see. And, hopefully get your chance to win one of the Green Ronin PDFs. My favorite moment, I enjoyed all the other things, and maybe I'm inferring a little bit, but I really loved just how the art informed the scene. And I know sometimes, or a lot of times as a GM, I get inspired by a piece or an image or something, and that forms the scene. So I really loved the art that went along with it, and just thought that it was just very unique and tranquil and cool. So fantasy thing. So that was me. Back to Matthew.
Yep. The art definitely made the story that I chose from my library, and I was like, well, I have art, I have scenes, and this is what the story will be. Hi, folks. I am Matthew Foreman. You can find me here on Dice Priori. You can find me at twitch.tv/MattForeman, where I stream Classic WoW and Dead by Daylight. I've been streaming a lot more because I felt good lately, and what a rarity. I'm seizing that moment. So I should stream tomorrow with some Classic WoW and DVD. I stream during the day till early evening. We'll see how much energy I have. My favorite moment. A lot of them have already been said. I loved role playing the Guardian because they are quasi benevolent, but they also have a role, an ancient and stubborn and almost chaotic role to fill, because they are guardians of the primordial gods, one of those sacred sites of those, and the primordial gods are indifferent to the existence of humanity. So in a cosmic way, they're benevolent, but then they're also like, well, you fucked up, now you eat it up. And our role playing those guardians were cool because they were there to help as much as they could, but they were outside those boundaries of what they're allowed to do. They have nothing. So that was kind of cool. And then of course the sandworm just bumped, this great big threatening sandworm just being like, bing. It's like, oh. So we're gonna go ahead and raid Happy Capster, aka Maria. You've seen her on Monster of the Week. You've seen her on other stuff. Go ahead and show her some love. She's doing Stardew Valley. See you here next week for Tales of Bashari, and we'll see you on Saturday for Cold Suns, a sci-fi convergence. Bye.